Welcome to Buddha's in Your Landfill. I had this sitting over here on the table, so we'll start with that. And I hope you don't mind if I moved it a little earlier, because I come downstairs at 6, I read a haiku, my ideas come up, I put some on the whiteboard, and I'm fired up and ready to go. So just sitting around waiting for 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, then the energy goes. So I have to I have to pop it when it's ready to pop, you see. And so we'll pick up, and I also hope you go back if you're just dropping in, and you can find all these talks on my website, To Kill a Minotaur, tokillaminotaur.com, and go back and catch up, because if you remember, we started out this adventure with the myth of Theseus and the labyrinth, and the labyrinth and the landfill are same metaphor, and we're looking for Buddhas or insight, and we need Ariadne's thread. So these talks have been the unfolding of Ariadne's thread. So each one builds on the previous one, but each one is new and a standalone. So I hope you do go back and catch up and keep following this thread, because it isn't an adventure. I have no idea where we're going, but we're going somewhere. And yesterday we were talking about La La Land, Warren Beatty's dilemma, if you recall, because he could not. There was a conflict, you could see it, and he's standing right there. He could not speak. He could not say the word. He could not announce the winner. There was a conflict. Is it this or is it that? Is it La La Land or is it Emma Stone, or something's not right? I don't know what it is. Wah, 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 wah. And Faye Dunaway said, oh Warren, stop being a fool. And he gave it to her with a big smile. And she said, La La Land. And he was relieved of the tension. Of course, we all know how that worked out. So we left that with the idea, we can pull the cotton ball apart of what tension is, but what is the release of tension? So let's pick that up yesterday. So we were looking at, and that's the creative act. So we're interested in the pain of tension and the release of tension, which we give different names to. So we'll pick this up today. Now, the haiku I opened up and read this morning these are haikus by Basho. There's Zen haikus. And the haiku was, chilling autumn rains curtain Mount Fuji. You can just see Mount Fuji curtained by autumn rains. Then make it more beautiful to see. So you have this, the play here between the curtain and beauty hidden and beauty revealed. And I thought this morning, wow, that is right, that connects right to what we're talking about, because, and you could just imagine anybody going to a beautiful, beauty in nature usually is when you come upon it. It's a surprise. You're going through the woods, or you're coming along a flat plain or something, and suddenly the Grand Canyon opens up, or a beautiful garden, or in other words, there's always this tension of the curtain and then the release, and we call that beauty or wonder. And you can just imagine Mount Fuji, and when there it is, the curtain, the clouds part, and Fuji is revealed, and everybody's taking pictures with the cameras. And what are we doing with the cameras? We're trying to make permanent this sense, this revelation of wonder. But of course, we're making it objective, and that's not what wonder is. So we want to And I also thought too that all of nature, all of life, is basically in Indian mythology, that is the goddess, that is life itself. God is, as the goddess, is playing hide and seek with us, and even the striptease is a game of hide and seek. So everything is really, we can see this everywhere. The hiding is the tension, a tension between, I know it's there, but I can't see it. I know it's there, but I can't see it. I know something is here, but I can't find it. I know something is beautiful here, but I can't see it. I know there's an answer, but I can't find it. What is that word? What is that word? Oh, I just tip on my tongue. And as soon as we relax, the word pops into mind, you see. Crossword puzzles. We invent stuff for this. My wife loves crossword puzzles. I don't get into it because I know it creates a tension, and I say, well, why bother creating it? So it's, or you read a mystery. We watch in the afternoon. We watch Midsummer Mysteries, and they're just good old British mysteries with a little bit of sugar. They're not and kind of like a Murder, She Wrote, and but there's always the tension of who did it, and how do you arrive, and the detective has to arrive at the release of tension. So the mystery creates a tension, and then there is the process of discover the wonder, the aha, the release of tension. So let's look into that a little bit. And yeah, so mystery, I mean, in movies, everything is a mystery. Everything is created. What's popular right now, but the great unfolding mystery of Trump and the Russians. Now, this is like a real-time spy novel. There's just every day there's a little more, there's another dot. Every day there's a little clue, and everybody is focused on it. And this is reawakening journalism. The Times and the Washington Post are competing like Sherlock Holmes, like detectives, to pick up the next clue. It's like E.T. following the M&Ms, the clues, the bloodhounds sniffing out the clues. And the tension builds and builds, because what is the picture here? There are too many loose dots. What is the whole picture? And this tension is painful. That's the whole point. Tension, stress, pain. And that's why my little man has a schizophrenic head, is because when there are two incompatible frames of reference or views, like with Warren Beatty, the two views were, one, I should know what this card is right by Price Waterhouse, it's right, but it doesn't look right. So my eyes tell me it doesn't look right, but my belief in authority and my assumption that there could not be a mistake is that it is right, but there's something wrong. There's something that doesn't fit. Wah, 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 you see. So this tension is painful, and unless we can arrest it, it will become a vortex that consumes us. That's what a panic attack is. A panic attack is a tension, inconsistency in the mind that cannot be brought to rest. And so it's like a microphone in front of an amplifier that goes wah, 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 like that. And it can result in a mental collapse, a real schizophrenia, or suicide, or some violent act. You suddenly go to the gas station to get some gas, and the next thing you know, you're in prison because you shot somebody, and you said, I just went to get some gas. I don't know what happened. So this tension, unless it is just like a boiling pressure cooker, remember when they used to come out, if you didn't release that steam, it would explode. So unless it's released, it will explode. So this idea of tension, stress, and pain is really everywhere. But we don't really see it in that terms, because we see it as either fun or there are different ways of understanding. But this basic idea is that the object that we seek to release us from the tension, the object does not what contains the beauty or the idea or the pleasure. It's the release of tension. So when why do we enjoy a crossword puzzle, or why do we enjoy a mystery? Is that it is induced tension. Well, who did it? Who did it? Who did it? And when we discover who did it, there is a release from the pain of the tension. So there is a momentary release of pain when we come upon the aha, I see, or the truth, or the beauty, or the wonder of Mount Fuji, you see. When what has been hidden is suddenly revealed, the tension between the I know something's there, but I can't see it, that tension is released, and for a moment we're whole. For a moment we're ground zero. For a moment we have no tension of the mind, and when there's no tension of the mind, there is no me. You see, this tension creates a sense of me. And we all see this happening, but we don't really put it in this context. Go sit in a movie theater, and you're watching the movie, and if it's a good movie, you are the movie, you see. And there is no sense of you watching the movie. If it's a good movie, you're not there. You're in the movie, doing what the characters are doing. And you are the characters doing the characters as they do it. There's no me there until somebody pokes you and says, you got some popcorn? And suddenly you're snapped back into attention, and your me gets angry. I'm watching a movie. Get your own popcorn. And then you come back and you try to get lost back in the movie. But for a moment, there was me. And me is created by this tension. So we are the search, the quest for beauty and truth, and the answer, and the revealed picture that explains everything, or the theory that explains everything, is basically a quest for the release of me and the tension of me. And we'll be getting into this more, but the tension of me is something that we really never look into. We think the tension is out there. So we're looking at the idea then of release. And, life is, Zorba the Greek, he was my first guru, and he said, life is trouble. And then later in life I find Buddha, and the Buddha says life is suffering. And then in Christianity, say life is the cross. There is suffering hanging on the cross. What is this suffering? Well, Buddha calls it dukkha. And dukkha is really the pain of separation, the pain of division, which is a tension. So this is a picture of dukkha, where the mind is split into two incompatible views, and it can't restore its original me, its original self, which is whole and at peace, you see. The self that is whole and at one with the world is not in tension with the world. But as soon as tension rises, me rises. So these two rise together. The sense of me having pain caused by the world or something else or myself, you see, is a tension that we want release from, and we invent all different kinds of ways of doing it, but we always misperceive the cause of the tension and blame it on my wife or husband or job or place or my body or the health or whatever. So it's misplaced blame. So the mind says something is wrong. There's tension. What's the cause? Is it something wrong with you or something wrong with me? And so we usually stop at those two and try to fix ourselves with more yoga and more meditation, or fix you with, I'll give you therapy. But what does the Sherlock Holmes, what does the detective do? The metaphor of the detective and why we love mysteries is that the master detective, the Sherlock, the inspector, or the detective, withholds judgment. He suspends judgment. And he knows there is loose ends here. There are clues. There are dots that don't connect. And instead of leaping to a judgment and say, aha, there's the picture, it doesn't include those other dots, you see. So if there's one other little dot out there, if there's one little dot, you see, that doesn't fit in the total picture, that dot is like a grain of sand in an oyster. It will fester, it will irritate. Something is not complete. Something is not clear. Something is left out, you see. And that tension drives the inspector, drives the detective to find the bigger picture that will include that dot, you see. And then the inspector says, the detective says, aha, I see it. And then everyone else sees it. And the world, and order is restored to the world, you see. Until all those dots are connected into a gestalt or a complete picture that includes everything, which is just basically this, you can't rest. This drives evolution. This drives the evolution of consciousness. This is what drives the spiritual path. There's something missing here. There's something not complete. What is it? I have to know. I cannot rest. That was what drove Buddha through all of the different yogas and all of the different paths of his day, was that something was missing and I'm not satisfied with this. All the other yoga masters say, oh, Buddha, you're so great. Oh, Gautama, you're so great. You stay with me and you'll become a great guru. You can have all of my students and be a great guru. No, something is missing, and he moves on. Something is missing, and he moves on. So most people will stop short and say, well, I've got enough dots. I'm done with it. I don't care. That dot doesn't even exist. I'll just not even see it. I don't even see that dot. I don't even see that. I'm complete here. But then they have to get into a group that sees the same picture, because the more people that just see your picture, the more people that can disregard the dot, you see, and say, oh, that dot doesn't exist. So you get the idea that we should look for this, the understanding of this, the pain of life as tension and the blessing of it. In Christianity, there's a hymn that calls the happy fault. This is the happy fault, you see, because it is a curse and a blessing. We're always in pain, trying to seek release from it, but without the pain, there is no evolution. There is no transcendence. There is no seeking God or truth or nothing. You just sit in a pasture and chew your cud. There's no fence, you see. I mean, there's no other side. There's no reason to strive. There's no reason to grow. There's no seeking. So this is a curse and a blessing of human consciousness, you see. But we need to understand that what we're seeking is not out there, but we're seeking understanding of my own mind and how this works, you know, so that is when you get the big aha, when you see that all of the tension and the fighting and the fear and the worry and all of that was misplaced perception, and you were misplaced, you were blaming everything else for this tension, and that's why you cannot get a release from it, because of the misplaced blame. So that will end up with getting back to the Sherlock and the suspension of judgment. So the path through this, between the Scylla and Charybdis, is to not react to the tension, but to accept it and be curious about it as feeling. What is going on here? What is the truth here? There's a suspension of judgment and blame so I can investigate. So now my curiosity about what, I don't know what the truth is, I want to know what the truth is, I'm willing to let reality reveal the truth to me instead of be imposing truth on reality. You see the shift here? When I blame reality for my tension, I'm going to preempt or prejudge or judge it and apply my certainty to it and try to make reality fit into my certainty and cram it in there, you see. But that just creates another division between my certainty and your certainty. And so I've just kicked the tension down the road, you see. So what we're really interested in this understanding, and on this path you're walking with me, is to see how our misperception creates the stress and tension in life that does not heal. The wound that does not heal, you see. But when we make that wound a happy fault and a blessing, then there is the possibility of going beyond the wound to a greater understanding of self in the world and peace in the world. So we'll leave it at that for today, and I'll see you tomorrow. But don't forget Martini time at 5 o'clock. And this evening, I've been going through the house and picking up things on my shelf. It's kind of like a museum of my path. And we talked about the frog and the Buddha and the egg and Ganesh and Shiva. And tonight I have some crosses. We'll talk about the cross. So I'll see you then.